Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the Notre Dame Academy Hingham campus in Hingham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of tonight's high school varsity girls basketball contest as part of the JBA Classic Tournament here at Notre Dame Academy. Today's contest pits the hosting Notre Dame Academy Cougars against the visiting Brookline High Warriors. As folks, as you can probably tell, we're going to have a bit of an awkward view of the court, to say the least. Very tight, cramped gym here. Bleachers not really conducive for me to set up my equipment, so we're going to make the best we can from setting up in the corner here and hope that we get ourselves a fun game. And what's going to be really fun, folks, is I'm actually not alone on the broadcast here tonight. We've got a new addition to the roster of broadcasters we've had on this channel. Joining me as my color commentator for tonight, he was the voice of the Roger Williams University Hawks over the past few years down in Rhode Island. Now he's getting set to graduate and go out into the world and spread his wings, but he's taking a quick pit stop here on this channel to join me as my color commentator tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brian Foley.
Well, thank you very much, Jesse. It's a pleasure to be here for some good and high-paced basketball.
All right, and good basketball it should be. Two strong teams coming in. Notre Dame coming in with a strong record of 17 wins and just one loss. Had them ranked 4th in the most recent MIAA Division II power rankings that came out Friday morning. While Brookline entering with a record of 8-10, ranked 22nd in the Division I power rankings. So both teams seem well on their way to a playoff berth, but that does not diminish the potential impact of this game, as it can really help build momentum toward the playoffs, can't it, Brian?
Well, it certainly can, and when energy is high, the results will usually show themselves here, and clearly with only one blemish on the record and securing the top spot heading into the playoffs, confidence and success should be intertwined and at an all-time high for NDA.
Absolutely, but while on paper NDA looks like a very tough opponent for Brookline, you can't count out the Warriors necessarily. They took on another top-ranked Division II opponent back in January, hosting Walpole High School. And that game actually ended up coming down to the wire. Brookline only lost that game by 5 points, 48-43. So Brookline has shown an ability to hang with some top-level competition. It's just a question of whether or not they can finish, and we will see with that one tonight. But first, a thank you to our sponsor for today, as once again, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS Sports parent, Dr. Brandon Esch, for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103. Or go online to easchdental.com. You can see that nice Esch Dental logo as usual in the bottom center of your screen, and you can find all that information, link and phone number in the description section of this video down below. And this should make for quite a show. And you know, Brian, I think for this Brookline team it'll be so nice to get back on the floor, given what a tough, almost non-basketball related ending their game last week against Framingham had, and their senior night game last Tuesday. That game, for those who tuned in, of course they know it ended with a Framingham player collapsing to the floor and experiencing a seizure and needing to be taken out in an ambulance. Fortunately, the good news she was that I'm happy to spread to all folks who aren't in the know, that Framingham player was released from the hospital same night, so she is okay. Hats off to head Brookline High athletic trainer Alex Jazik for his quick response in helping that player, as well as members of the Framingham coaching staff, members of Brookline High athletic staff, who all, just chipped in however they could to help keep things under control until the paramedics showed up. And of course, hats off to the pros, the paramedics, and the doctors who took care of that young lady and made sure that she is good to go. You know what? The weather outside may be terrible, but when you get good news like that, it's a good day no matter what.
Oh, certainly. It keeps you warm, and even more than just the heating systems inside a place. And, certainly with an event like that can rattle not just the home team, but also the visiting team too. I mean, there are things that are bigger than basketball, and coming together to really help another human being, that is the key point. Without people, without humans, a lot of functionality in life would not be possible. So certainly, again, a lot of credit to the people who stepped up to deliver something, again, a lot bigger than just the sport.
Absolutely. And with that in mind, let's talk about some of the people who are going to be playing in this game here today. Let's go through the rosters. We'll start with the home team, the Notre Dame Academy Cougars. Going in order of jersey number for Notre Dame, first off we have a senior captain, number 1, Effie Giannopoulos. Next, another senior captain, number 2, Ava Orlando. A junior, number 3, Elle Orlando. A senior captain, number 10, Catherine Chisholm. A freshman, number 11, Lucy Dish. A senior captain, number 12, Colleen D. A freshman, number 20, Reagan Costello. A freshman, number 23, Ella Banning. A freshman, number 32, Brinley Ross. And a sophomore, number 34, Emma Trout. Head coach of the Notre Dame Academy girls basketball team is Nikki Orlando. That's the roster for Notre Dame, and you can see off in the distance, we're going to have a bit of a distance shot for whatever team is playing at that hoop throughout the game. But, like I said, we're going to do the best we can with the site we're given. So let's go through the roster for the Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of jersey number for Brookline, first off, a senior captain, number 1, Olivia Zanini. Next, a sophomore, number 2, Izzy Wood. A junior, number 3, Jada Kimbrough. A junior, number 4, Ivy Wheeler. A senior, number 11, Kyrie Simmons. A freshman, number 12, Skylar Makaluski. A junior, number 13, Nefeli Aga-Kitch. A junior, number 14, Jaden Williams. A senior, number 15, Amelie Honor. A senior captain, number 21, Olivia Matarazza. A junior, number 22, Viviana McDonald. And a senior, number 23, Julia Denker. Head coach of the Brookline High girls basketball team is Kendall Jones. And Brian, we actually heard before the game a few players missing off of Brookline's bench here today. It kind of got buried in the big medical incident at the end of that Framingham game, but earlier in that game, Olivia Zanini actually had to come out after a hard collision. Apparently, I heard she broke her nose during that game, so she's sitting out for this one. Jaden Williams, unfortunately, has fallen ill, so she's missing this game due to illness, and Julia Denker also not in the game today. Not necessarily the highest scoring, but, some important depth pieces absent for Brookline today.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you have to look at the team as an entirety, and whether or not you have your efficiency point scores that are putting up numbers that could get you to a triple-double and things of that nature, your bench is equally as important. The supplemental pieces, that's why the Celtics are able to be so well as a comparison, having the Peyton Pritchards and Sam Hausers out there, because when things need to be called upon and things need to be stepped up a bit, you do have that supplement. So it'll be interesting to see how Brookline works with a bit of a smaller bench. A lot of players are going to have a lot more minutes to their totals this game.
Absolutely. And we're almost underway. I know I can't show my, unfortunately I can't show my scoreboard cam here. From the angle we've got, we wouldn't be able to see the scoreboard because there's a backboard blocking it, and we can't exactly see the scoreboard over on this angle either. There's just not a good angle for our scoreboard cam, unfortunately. So I am going to be entering our score here today manually with the little score bug we got in the bottom right corner there. I know it's been a little while since we've used this little puppy here, but I'm going to switch over to the camera mic so we can hear what's being said. We've used this puppy here, but I'm going to switch over.
We see these living on today in the lives of our student athletes in the classroom and beyond. We are so proud of these girls for their hard work, compassion, and confidence that they bring to everything that they do. We'd like to thank the teams from East Bridgewater High School, Situate High School, and Brookline High School for joining us alongside our varsity team to honor Jess's memory. Thank you to the Bradbury and the Adams family for continuing to support NDA athletics in her memory. We are so grateful to the South Shore Special Needs Athletic Partnership, known as SNAP, for continuing to support Jess's legacy. Jess introduced the amazing kids from SNAP to NDA over 11 years ago, and SNAP continues to train with our basketball team on Saturdays. Jess truly embodied the Sisters of Notre Dame de New York's call to proclaim by our lives, more than our words, that God is good. We are honored to be able to keep Jess's spirit alive, inspiring each of us to have hearts as wide as the world. Best of luck to both teams, and in the words of Jess Bradbury Adams, be big. Good evening and welcome to Notre Dame Academy for tonight's girls basketball game between Brookline High School and Notre Dame Academy. Let's meet the starting lineup for Brookline. Number 2, Izzy Wood. Number 12, Skylar Macaluska. Number 3, Jada Cooper. Number 13, Natalie Akich. Number 21, Liz Lara. The Warriors are coached by Kevin Jones, Jacob Page, and Matt Davis. And now, the starting lineup for your NBA Cougars. Number 1, Captain Nancy Giannopoulos. Number 2, Captain Ava Orlando. Number 3, Elle Orlando. Number 7, Captain Kate Chico. And number 34, Ella Trout. The Cougars are coached by Anna Levina and Adam Kelsey. Please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, those were our starting lineups and national anthem, and soon we will have our opening tip-off here at Notre Dame Academy in Hingham, Massachusetts. For Brookline, a pretty typical starting lineup: Izzy Wood, Jada Kimbrough, Skylar Macaluski, Nefeli Agakich, and Olivia Mataraza. For Notre Dame, Effie Giannopoulos, Ava Orlando, Elle Orlando, Catherine Chisholm, and Emma Trout. This should be a fun one, Brian.
With a lot of anticipation, a lot of emotion too. It's a beautiful tribute to the JPA Classic, and I really, like the wordings of Jessica Bradbury Adams and "Be Big" is certainly a mantra that can apply to so much in life.
And certainly something that plays big in such a vertical sport as basketball. And a couple of sizable players getting ready for the opening tip-off. Olivia Mataraza for Brookline and Emma Trout for Notre Dame. The two tallest players out there are going to get us started. A nice way to honor the words of "Be Big," as we're going to start it off with the two biggest players on the floor. All right, here we go. The opening tip-off ricochets over to Jada Kimbrough, and Brookline will have the opening possession. Kimbrough looking around, pass it across to Izzy Wood. Wood looking around, looking for an option, kicks it back out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough holding it at the top. Getting pressured by the defense, escapes the trap somehow, floats a pass over to Nefeli Agakic. Corner three, no good, sailed it long.
Start here to at least to get some spacing. Thought they get too pinched, but at least made the attempt.
Now first possession for the Cougars. Handoff goes to El Orlando. Bringing it around the top, throws inside to Emma Trout. Trout throws it out, deflected, but does get to Effie Giannopoulos. Giannopoulos swings it back over to El Orlando, throws it all the way across to Catherine Chisholm. Running back door, throws it over to Trout. Trout backing down, looking, pass complete to Ava Orlando. Ava Orlando running, floater won't go. Rebound by Trout, keeps the possession alive, passes out. Giannopoulos for three, no good. Another offensive board, this time El Orlando can't hit the layup. Another offensive board for the Cougars, but now a pass stolen. Nefeli Agakic trying to take it the other way. Running in, 3-on-1, pass, layup, no good from Izzy Wood. And the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds.
Quite a sequence to get things going here. At least NDA getting pretty up front, but the defense for Brookline showing strong thus far. Great deflection also to kick it out wide and having to reset the offense.
Now Catherine Chisholm bringing it up. No score as of yet. Chisholm running to her right, looking, floats it inside, but over the head of Trout, and she could not save it.
Again, trying to do a bit too much there, but again, at least trying to get the opening points in. You're right, thus far, and now will be the third possession, still no score.
Matarazza gives it to Agakic as they work against the press. Throws one up to Izzy Wood. Wood successfully breaks the press, throws it across. Matarazza mid-range jumper won't go. Rebound bounces right to Matarazza as she looks around, gives it out. Wood from the top 4-3 off the mark. Rebound chased down by Catherine Chisholm as Notre Dame takes over. Chisholm off a screen to her right, throws inside. Trout backing down, battling through, no good. That was actually Giannopoulos battling through, my mistake, but she does draw the foul on Olivia Matarazza.
Yeah, a good swim move, especially into trying to get by Matarazza, whose stature certainly could be opposing to anyone trying to make it up the floor, but early potential points for NDA.
First free throw from Giannopoulos is good, and Brian, I think you hit the nail on the head there. We saw with that overthrown pass intended for Trout inside that they were trying to float it over Matarazza, so that size can make an impact in a lot of ways.
Well, indeed it can.
Giannopoulos 2 for 2 at the line, and the Cougars with a 2-0 lead to start. Makaluski getting trapped, balls stripped away from behind, and Nefeli Agakic just smartly lets it bounce out of bounds.
Interesting, especially to go with the up-front defense rather than letting Brookline get further up the court, which clearly they've shown that they can do efficiently. A lot of aggressive approach from NDA.
Wood driving in, pass stolen, taken away by Giannopoulos, throws it up, stolen right back by Kimbrough. Kimbrough now running it the other way, going for the running floater herself, it won't go. Rebound tipped out to Wood as Wood resets, keeps it in bounds, throws it across. Oh, dropped by Agakic, but she recovers in the corner. Agakic passes out of the corner to Kimbrough. Inside, Matarazza from the top of the key swings it out. Agakic 4-3, no good. Shots not falling for Brookline early as NDA takes over.
Again, just keep going at it. The closer that you are to a missed shot, the closer you are to making a shot, rather.
The attempted backdoor pass into a sea of Brookline players, and they take it away. Kimbrough running the fast break, kicks it out to Wood. Wood goes to Kimbrough. Kimbrough now knifing through. Floater again won't go. No rim luck for the Warriors to start. High chucked pass into traffic. It is caught by Ava Orlando. Going around the defense. Pass across. Shot no good from Chisholm. Offensive board by Ava Orlando as she resets the play. Tries a corner three off the mark. Rebound won by Skylar Makaluski. Makaluski running in transition. Picking up speed. Going inside. Layup won't go. Rebound now by NDA as they take it the other way. Still a 2-0 score as Ava Orlando tries the running layup. Won't go. Nothing's going for anybody early as Nefeli Agakic throws it up to Jada Kimbrough. Shot 4-3 is short. Rebound by Chisholm. No made shots from the field for either side so far as Chisholm kicks it out to Trout. Now given to El Orlando. Throws it up top. Giannopoulos for three. Hits it. And a timeout early called by Brookline. Effie Giannopoulos with all 5 points on the board for both teams combined, and now hitting the first made shot from either side.
Well, and the aggressive approach, especially offensively, one to take in, but with as much of a chaotic situation, we might call that as it is, you knew at some point a shot was going to fall. And what I liked especially about NDA is that both sides of the ball, they were proficient in terms of thinking ahead to the next play, and at least allowing Ava Orlando, who, by the way, surpassed 2,000 points in her total career thus far at the high school level, giving her the ball and usually is allowing them to get the best shots of points. But you're right, Espinopoulos is going to be the only one putting up points thus far.
Yeah, and certainly you hit on an interesting note there. Both teams getting some decent looks. You know, Notre Dame able to get inside with some of the size and quickness of their slashers, but Brookline able to move the ball side to side and really create some openings on the outside, but the shots just haven't fallen for them yet.
No, you're right. And again, keeping an eye, though, on Giannopoulos, you're going to have to wonder where exactly they'll keep her out, at least in the offensive scheme, and trying to ride maybe double-digit points before the first quarter's really even over.
Inbound goes to Izzy Wood out of the timeout. We'll see what kind of offensive adjustments Brookline might have made as Wood runs in, stops, throws out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough resets it from the top, throws it across to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch escapes the trap, passes out to Makaluski. Makaluski running in, lost the ball, and it's taken away now by number 20 for NDA, Reagan Costello, who's checked in. Ball's handed off to Costello there. Off a screen, running in, stops, gives out, lost by Ava Orlando, and chases it down. They say deflected by the defense, so no backcourt violation. Orlando hands off to Costello, pass across to Giannopoulos. Into the corner, Chisholm running down the baseline, throws it out. Giannopoulos open for three, no good, as the ball is going to bounce out of bounds.
Again, the fast-paced tempo, at least with Brookline. On the offensive side of it, seems like they're holding on to the ball maybe a second too long where NDA can come in, but with the offense kind of stepping up, at least in what we saw with the first series, really, before the timeout.
As this ball is almost taken away. What did they call there? Are they calling, they're calling out of bounds. A body hit the sideline while they had their hand on the ball. That counts as out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball, but again, that high-pressure defense you've been talking about, Brian, from this Cougars team. Jada Kimbrough bringing it up, gets trapped, can't escape, ball's ripped away. L. Orlando running, can't hit it, but draws the foul from Kimbrough.
Well, really, that's all you can kind of do heading into a stolen ball, really. And getting another chance up at the line here, it does slow down the game a bit. In that timeout earlier, it was probably more for people to catch their breath, at least in over offensive strategy per se.
And that's the first of two free throws made from Ella Orlando. And I mean, the timeout was called by Brookline, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was meant for an offensive adjustment, but hasn't quite worked out yet, as Orlando also goes 2 for 2 at the line, 7-0. The Cougars lead over the Warriors. Ball's given back to Makaluski now. Working against the press, she needs an outlet, gives it to Ivy Wheeler, who's checked in for Brookline, but it's stripped from behind by Ava Orlando. And quick passing finds L. Orlando under the hoop for another fast break lay-in. 4 points now for L. Orlando as Notre Dame leads 9-0. Izzy Wood breaks the press, gets trapped, but manages to pass away to Skylar Makaluski. Goes to the top of the key to Matarazza, pass inside. Ivy Wheeler was open but couldn't finish and lost control of the rebound. Out of bounds, Brookline ball, last touched by the Cougars.
Oh no, second life here, and just, again, chipping closer to making a shot go, at least whether it's driving to the rim or getting some spaced out.
Inbound goes to Wheeler. Wheeler cutting across. Ball's knocked loose, but she recovers. Passes out to Izzy Wood. Wood looking around. Directing some traffic. Now swings it over to Jada Kimbrough. Kimbrough looking, dribbling towards the corner. And now the ball's picked loose. And they're just going to box out and let the ball roll out of bounds. And it'll be Brookline ball.
Well, at least a good strategy here. Pins them back a little bit further, but again, for Brookline, that could be a good thing.
Oh, wait, are they saying? Okay, there was a brief bit of confusion, but it is Brookline ball. I was like, wait a second. Inbound goes to Kimbrough. Kimbrough walks it up, passes it over to Kyrie Simmons, who's checked in for Brookline. They swing it around to Wood, tries for three, no good. Rebound tipped and won by Ava Orlando. Throws it up to a streaking Giannopoulos, who hits the bucket in transition. 7 points for her, 11 for the Cougars. Wood running it fast across half court, gives to Kimbrough, who cuts inside, running floater, no good, but she does draw a foul, and finally Brookline might be able to get some points on the board as they've been nearly shut out in this first quarter.
Well, and you can't say that the effort really has not been there at all. In fact, I would say that the Brookline at least has been, trying to get the engine going a lot more. So it's just that, again, fluidity really is mattered a lot. As the first shot put up does not go. Still has one more opportunity, though.
It's tough. Brookline does not want a repeat of last week against Framingham. They were shut out in the first quarter of that game, but won't be shut out in this quarter as Kimbrough hits her second free throw. 11-1 the score. Ava Orlando bringing it up for the Cougars. Dribbles into the corner. Going along the tight space, pass out to Giannopoulos. Swings it over to Chisholm. Chisholm looking, pass across, under the hoop, block, and another block. Both clean blocks from Olivia Matarazza as Chisholm resets the play. Pass out to Giannopoulos. Across to number 12, Colleen D. Tries a long shot and hits the three. Colleen D. off the bench.
Good amount of spacing there.
Now Kyrie Simmons juggling the ball. Passing, gets to Wood. Wood lost the ball, stripped again by Ava Orlando. And Ava Orlando now has her first points of the night as Notre Dame Academy taking a commanding 16-1 lead here with 50.9 seconds left here in the first quarter. And we got a note in the live chat from Matt Cavici saying, shout out to the Brookline assistant for constantly clearing the puddle from the water leak, real MVP. And we're seeing a number of coaches and staff members stepping in where they can to try and wipe it clean. It's been a tough weather day today, and you know what? All the folks that make things happen behind the scenes, got to give them a shout out.
Well, absolutely. Everyone that plays a part of the system is just as much a part of the team as really anybody out there, and certainly there are more people out prepping the court beforehand. We've had a few leaks off of the roof, but again, with all that snow, you knew eventually with warmer temperatures it's going to turn to water, and boy, it's a lot of water indeed. So again, yeah, very, very true for our commenter to mention that. Big shout out to the sports staff.
All right, out of the timeout, 50.9 seconds left. Brookline going to try and see if they can end this first quarter on a more positive note, as they're still looking for their first made shot from the field. NDA pulling back the press defense and letting Brookline come to them this time. Izzy Wood knifing through, running in, floater, no good. Rebound being fought for, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow to the Cougars.
Well, especially with the score differential, maybe the strategy, at least from NDA, is like, you know what, let them try to make some plays, but we know our defense can lock down just the same.
And Brookline trying to lock down on defense as they do get the takeaway. Wood getting trapped, trying to escape, and she somehow escapes. Running with it, pass, Wheeler from the wing, dribbling across, kicks out. Kyrie Simmons for three, no good. And the rim woes continue for the Warriors here in the closing seconds of the first. Chisholm with the ball at the top. Gives it over. Pass back to Chisholm. Now back over to D. D inside Giannopoulos. Fakes, steps in, layup is good. And that will be the end of the first quarter off the buzzer beater layup from Effie Giannopoulos, who finishes with a team-leading 9 points in the first quarter as the Cougars of Notre Dame Academy take an 18-1 lead over the Brookline Warriors at the end of one. And during this break between the first and second quarter, I remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental. Does anxiety keep you from seeking the dental care you need? You are not alone. Esch Dental gets it. They get you. Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner offers many options for management of dental anxiety. Go online to eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103 to book your consultation. Once again, that's EASHDENTAL.com, or call 617-566-0103. All that information in the description section down below. And, Brian, you said in the first quarter that despite the lack of scoring for Brookline, it's not been a lack of trying, and it's not been a lack of openings per se. They've just had absolutely no rim luck so far, and it's, what do you think is really the key for the players to, keep composed and keep putting up those shots, hoping that one will eventually fall?
Certainly do not look at the scoreboard at all. Each quarter you look at it like, okay, you know what? Right now, the score is still 0-0. If you can keep things in a smaller scope and then work on trying to win every possession, it's like in any other sport, win the next pitch, win the next series, at least with the puck in hockey. If you boil it down to that level, you will find yourself in a lot more composure, and you're not thinking way more ahead than doing.
Brookline with the first possession of the second quarter. Ivy Wheeler with the ball. Spinning away, passing along the baseline. Viviana McDonald kicks it out to Skylar Makaluski, who tries to run in and hits a wall, and the jump ball will give the possession arrow back to NDA. And the Cougars' help defense, whenever Brookline tries to drive, it's been so lethal getting that extra defender in there. Bringing it up now for the Cougars. Reagan Costello passes it over to Chisholm. Now down low to Giannopoulos. Back out to Catherine Chisholm. Chisholm running into the corner and lost the dribble herself, and that's going to be a turnover, giving it back to Brookline.
Well, one little mistake here. Let's see if Brookline can really capitalize on a new life after giving up the possession and not really getting the benefit of a jump ball.
Wood passes it over to Makaluski. Makaluski trapped, passes into the corner. McDonald running the baseline, throwing it across to Kyrie Simmons, kicks it out. Wheeler stepping in, layup is no good. It looked like she was going to bank that one in, but no dice as Reagan Costello brings it up now for NDA. Costello looking, swings it over to Ava Orlando. Orlando off a screen, fires from three, no good. Rebound bouncing this way, and it's kept in bounds by L. Orlando. Throws it across and down low. Chisholm, extra pass, Giannopoulos right under the hoop, as Effie Giannopoulos will be the first player from either side to reach double figures. She has 11 of Notre Dame Academy's 20 points so far. Wood getting trapped. Ball was almost knocked free, trying to muscle her way out, and she can't. Ball's taken away, but it's blocked by Simmons and taken back by Wood. Pass back to Simmons, just across half court, pass inside. Viviana McDonald with the first made shot from the field for the Warriors.
Certainly, hopefully some new life here now for Brookline after that.
Giannopoulos throws it across, and that is passed back to Giannopoulos. Up top, Costello, and I think they called it travel there. Is that what they called?
It seemed to be, but again, these subtle little calls are going to be something that Brookline can really put in their pocket and try to carry with them now. At least it disrupts the tempo that NDA is trying to establish here.
Brookline subs back in three of their starters, Kimbrough, Agakich, and Matarazza. Agakich now with the ball on the outside, passes to the corner to Kimbrough. Kimbrough back out to Agakich. Agakich across the top, swings it over to Kimbrough. Now up top, Makaluski over to Agakich. Agakich looking, throws to the corner now to Matarazza, driving across the baseline, throws it up top. Kimbrough for three, no good. Another good look from three, just does not fall for the Warriors. Now Costello with the ball. Looking around for the Cougars. Pass across, Ava Orlando for three, no good. Rebound, Giannopoulos goes inside, and Giannopoulos finishes again. 13 points now for the Notre Dame senior co-captain as they lead 22-3. Makaluski throws it up to Agakich, who gets fouled.
Well, sometimes the aggressive approach can burn you there, and at least in a slap ends up kind of becoming a half punch, if you will, to try to create more of the next situation. That's thinking ahead maybe a little bit too much there. But now for Brookline, another chance for them to catch their breath.
Agakich over to Kimbrough on the wing. Inside Wheeler, backdoor blocked. Swatted away and recovered now by the Cougars. L. Orlando running with it, getting around the defender, going inside. Layup won't go. Rebound by Kimbrough. Kimbrough dribbling into a trap, but passes away to Agakich, who is able to walk it across half court for the Warriors. Goes inside to Makaluski. Makaluski looking around, getting swarmed, barely gets a pass away to Kimbrough. Down low now to Matarazza. Matarazza backing down, looking. It's not there, and they call her for the travel.
Yeah, didn't really see as much as there, at least in the way of, it was more of a travel if she took Spirit Airlines than really what that sequence was. But again, now another chance for the NDA offense to go ahead full force.
It's always a little tough if you're too used to watching NBA games to get used to the idea of travels actually being called, but that's the game at the high school level. Ava Orlando hits the three-pointer, 25-3, the Notre Dame Academy lead. Ava Orlando now with 5 points. Makaluski pass up to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch across half court, looking. Pass gets away to Makaluski. Makaluski sees an opening, kicks out. Kimbrough 4-3, no good. Rebound tipped and collected by Ava Orlando. Running the floor, pass across. Giannopoulos throws to the corner. L. Orlando 4-3, no good. Rebound tipped and tipped again, and it's ultimately gets to Emma Trout. Passes out to Ava Orlando, who hits the three on the second chance and now has 8 points as Notre Dame leads 28-3. It looks like Aga Kitch had the defensive rebound for a second, but the NDA players just relentless in their pursuit of loose balls. Makaluski throws to the wing. Aga Kitch trying for three. Rims out. Rebound by Giannopoulos. Pass deflected out of bounds by Makaluski, and it will stay with NDA.
That pass looked like it came out of the arm of Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl there, but hopefully the individual with that ball, that heat seeker was coming in for, is okay. It seems to be they are, but we do get a brief timeout here.
Indeed. Timeout 28-3. The Cougars lead the Warriors. Effie Giannopoulos leading the way for Notre Dame Academy, 13 points. Ava Orlando with 8, L. Orlando with 4, and Colleen D with 3. For Brookline, 2 points from Viviana McDonald and 1 from Jada Kimbrough. And again, they're finding the open shots, but when the open shots aren't falling, it's like, how do you make something happen? Because NDA has been doing such a good job of making sure that it's only the outside shots that are getting wide open looks. There's no wide open layups. There's no wide open dribble drives. You know, nothing low, nothing high percentage. All low percentage shots is what Brookline's getting so far.
Well, I think that you have to then play to the ability of what they give you. Take what the opposing team is giving you, and the fact that they're giving more space on the outside. And something I like to call sequence passing is something a lot of teams I feel like don't elaborate on or really instill. And what I mean by that is if you can go consistently around the horn and occasionally mix up the cross patterns, the defense is eventually going to wear out and then have to kind of cave in a little further in the event that you might try to sneak one in by them. But keeping that space really allows for more opportunity from the outside, which, as you just said, NDA is kind of giving them that open space.
Inbound incoming now for NDA. They give to L. Orlando, who hands it back to Chisholm. Throws back door to L. Orlando. Tried to save it, but it's intercepted. Makaluski running the fast break. Trying to go inside. Layup, no good. And the rebound taken by Giannopoulos, who chucks up for L. Orlando. Chased down by Izzy Wood. Orlando's pass deflects over to Costello. Now out to Chisholm. Chisholm travels. Took the step before the dribble off of the head fake there. And again, this isn't the NBA. They're going to call that here.
Nope, very much so. And kind of a true point here. Any Celtics fans, or really anybody, you're right, in the NBA, and might be a bit more of a caveat with that. But here at Brookline, they've played a pretty clean game thus far, at least for, again, the team in navy blue.
Wood inside Matarazza. Passes to the corner. Aga Kitch dribbling out of the corner, going inside. Lost the ball. Loose ball. Is picked up off the floor by the Cougars. Chisholm running with it. Stopping and settling down as she gives it to Costello. Costello to her right, throws, and I think we got an illegal screen called against the Cougars here. We haven't seen a lot of fouls so far this game. I think that's just 2 team fouls between the 2 teams here in the second quarter, which is 2.5 minutes left. Kimbrough with the ball, throws over to Wood, back to Kimbrough. Across Aga Kitch, inside Makaluski. Makaluski getting swarmed, passes out. Agakic running inside, layup, no good, and a charge is called on Agakic anyhow. Tried to muscle her way through and just, one body push too many, I guess, as they call the offensive foul.
Again, a bit of a rarity there, too, and the first foul that's going to go against Brookline.
Yes. Ava Orlando long two, no good. And as you said, Brian, first team foul for Brookline here in the second quarter. Kimbrough throws it up to Wood. Wood running through. Wood hits the layup. And that's got to be a load off Brookline's mind as they finally get another made shot from the field. 28-5 the score. Reagan Costello looking around. Almost lost it, but keeps the dribble. Now hands off to Chisholm. Chisholm being chased by Agakic. Pass through to Costello. Costello fakes, pass across, goes off the foot and out of bounds. A pass intended for number 11, Lucy Dish.
And again, the high-paced tempo really from NDA does have its opportunity for a mistake as well here. And with them being able to move the ball so well, sometimes the ball comes up more like Sonic the Hedgehog in some cases.
Quick passing now from Brookline as Jada Kimbrough finishes at the rim for two. Brilliant ball movement from the Warriors. Textbook press-busting play. And now Brookline with an actual scoring run, 4 unanswered points. El Orlando with the ball. Steps in, pass, gets through, but knocked loose, and it's picked up by Kimbrough. Kimbrough gives it over to Agakic. Agakic running inside. Layup, no good. Rebound tipped. Headed towards the corner, saved by Agakic, but it's recovered by Dish. Dish gives it to Costello. 1 minute left in the second quarter. Costello looking around, handing off to Ava Orlando. Orlando off the screen, runs into the corner. Now tries a mid-range jumper, no good, as that's going to be out of bounds, Brookline ball. It seems like both teams are starting to play a little more aggressively. Brookline very aggressively pursuing the ball handlers for NDA to try and up that up-tempo even more and force them to make those mistakes you were talking about, Brian.
Well, don't want to get too far ahead of yourself because, again, if you do a lot faster than what you're thinking, a lot more mistake can happen there. But Brookline seemingly composed.
Not able to finish on that shot. Rebound by Trout, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Matarazza here as she was trying to fight for that loose ball. 26.8 seconds left here in the second quarter. Inbound from D goes to Ava Orlando. Orlando walking it up 20 seconds before halftime. Pass over to El Orlando. Orlando going to try for three off the screen, no good. Rebound collected. Pass misses, and it's taken away by Kimbrough. Kimbrough trying to pick up speed on the fast break, gives to Wood. Wood finishes at the rim. Good unselfish play on the fast break, and that will be the last play of the half. Our score at halftime, Notre Dame Academy 28, Brookline 9, and Brookline able to start to find some offensive success there at the end of the second quarter there, Brian.
Well, as you mentioned, they did have the 4-0 run here, at least in terms of the offense. And one thing that I did hear head coach Kendall Jones say is that don't be sporadic. Don't be trying to run around like a chicken with your head cut off here. You've got to play as a team. If you're sporadic, you're not even – the expression I love the most is obviously being on the same page. In some cases, if you're playing sporadic, you're not even reading the same book or on the same chapter, let alone. So, again, bringing the game back down to simplicity here. Winning each possession, winning every time you have the ball or every quarter, however you want to paint that. And I think Brookline was just starting to adopt that concept in a little bit more unity. They were able to find ways to drive up to the rim, and, hey, those shots were starting to fall.
Yep. And it was actually a 6-0 run to end as they got that Super Bowl score briefly, 28-3. But then Brookline scoring the last 6 points of the quarter. Izzy Wood with 4 points, Jada Kimbrough with 3, and Viviana McDonald with 2 for Brookline at the half. For Notre Dame Academy, Effie Giannopoulos leading the way with 13 points, Ava Orlando with 8, El Orlando with 4, and Colleen D with 3. During this halftime break, I once again am happy to remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner. Esch Dental's vision is to make your dental appointment an experience to look forward to. Boutique means on-time appointments. Boutique means high tech. Boutique means integrity. Go online to eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103 to find out how you can experience Esch Dental. Once again, EASHDENTAL.com or call 617-566-0103. You can find that information in the description section down below. And also, further down in the description section, you will find a link to the official Venmo account of the Triple Threat Booster Club, the official booster club of Brookline High Girls Basketball. And if you go down even further, you'll see a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight for today, the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, through the first 10 years of this fund, they have raised about $1.5 million in scholarship funds to award to graduating Brookline High students. And your support is crucial to supporting these Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And all those links and phone numbers, like I said, can be found in the description section of the video down below. And if you know of any local Brookline organizations, whether they be businesses, charities, what have you, that you think could benefit from the extra visibility on these live streams, I encourage you to get them in touch with me. Send them my contact information, which you can find in the description section or in the bottom right corner of your screen, or, let me know about them yourself. However you think would work best. I'm always happy to hear about more potential connections with the local community. But for now, it is halftime. Our score at half, Notre Dame Academy 28, Brookline 9. Alongside Brian Foley, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Notre Dame Academy in Hingham, Massachusetts. We're going to take a break and mute our mics, but we will be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Brian Foley here at Notre Dame Academy in Hingham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of tonight's high school varsity girls basketball contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Notre Dame Academy Cougars. The Cougars handily in the lead 28-9 through the first two quarters, but Brookline ending the second quarter on a 6-0 run. And you know, if they can keep that rhythm going, if nothing else, Brian, they might at least make the score a little bit more respectable. And then once you make it respectable, who knows what could happen?
Well, and again, it's brick building. You have to start from the very bottom, especially with coming into a new half, a new game. John Gruden, formerly of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Oakland Raiders, said it best. Mansions aren't built in a day. You got to build the blocks and have that foundational piece, and that's what I believe Kendall Jones is really going to establish. Again, not being sporadic, playing as a team, work in tandem, and like you mentioned, 6-0 run could easily be doubled heading into the second half here.
All right, Brookline to start us off. Nefeli Agakich inbounds to Izzy Wood as the teams have switched directions. Jada Kimbrough, she's picked up her dribble, needs to pass, gets it to Olivia Matarazza in the corner. Matarazza trying to battle inside, hits a wall, passes back up top to Wood. Inside, Skylar Makaluski kicks out. Nefeli Agakich looking, swings it across. Jada Kimbrough, 4-3, no good. The three ball has been brutal for Brookline throughout this game, as once again the Cougars trying to take advantage in transition. Ava Orlando gets caught in the corner but now runs baseline. Passes across to Effie Giannopoulos and the shot rolls in. And that's just the story. No rim luck for one team and some rim luck for the other creates such a disparaging score.
Well, we did also see not a lot of shots fell for either one to open up this game in its entirety, so a bit more consistency here.
Izzy Wood off on the second chance three-pointer, but the rebound tips right to Agakich. Agakich throws it a little high, but it's caught by Wood. Wood picks up her dribble, needs a pass, gives it out to Agakich. Agakich over to Wood. Wood steps in, kicks out. Agakich head fake and almost lost the ball, being pressured by Ava Orlando, who does knock it loose. Agakich boxing out and letting it roll out of bounds. It'll stay Brookline ball, but they only got 11 seconds on the shot clock to work with, starting on their side of the floor.
Well, having quick passing here if they want to try to create some separation or just go horns down right ahead up to the rim and get a quick shot off.
Wood running in, needs to find somebody. They got to chuck one up, and they can't. 24-second violation, and it was going to bounce out either way. Brookline just not able to find the opening in the limited time they had.
Well, new set here for NDA, and again, let's see if they can pick up really where they left off.
Chisholm to her right. Catherine Chisholm throws it across to Emma Trout, hands off to Ava Orlando. Or no, that's Elle Orlando, excuse me. Running floater, no good off the front rim. Rebound by Kimbrough. Kimbrough throws it up. Skylar Makaluski on the run, finishes at the rim for two.
Well, certainly a size advantage there, as multifaceted as Orlando is. The disparity there, more than likely, and what the result was, a shot falling there for Brookline.
Good transition play for the Warriors, as now 30-11 the score. Elle Orlando going to try for three, no good, but a rebound by Emma Trout passes out. Catherine Chisholm for three, no good. Another offensive board, and Effie Giannopoulos on the third chance opportunity makes it 32-11. Quick passing, but a block, but it's recovered by Makaluski. Makaluski running inside, finds the hole, but can't find the bottom of the rim, and Matarazza gets fouled.
Well, on the last play before, it's the living example of third time's the charm, and to certainly not get frustrated or flustered, especially heat of the moment, trying to get up to the rim and keeping that composure. But now for Brookline.
Matarazza no good on the first free throw. And misses them both. NDA now taking it the other way. Ava Orlando stepping back, going for three, no good. Rebound, and they're going to call a push on Emma Trout, a push in the back on the battle for the board, and that'll give the ball back to Brookline.
Again, these little breaks in the tempo that's being established by the hosting team here in the JBA tournament.
And Brookline has to take advantage of that if they want to create a bit of rhythm.
Now Wheeler, pass, Matarazza, hook shot won't go, but another foul. Brookline seems to be starting to find some room on the inside, even though the three ball's still not falling for them. They're starting to find some room down low under the rim. Excuse me.
And a new set of free throw attempts, and hey, with the third one up in just the last minute, heading in for Matarazza. Potentially a new swing of confidence here, especially anything offensively. But you're right, you have to play to what the game and situation gives you.
And what it gives Brookline here is an offensive rebound for Skylar Makaluski. Throws it out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough trying to knife her way through, kicks out. Wood on the wing. Resets at the top with Kimbrough. Kimbrough to her left, barely keeps the dribble. No chance for a handoff, has to throw it across to Wood. Wood steps up to the line, but stops, gives to Makaluski, who tries for three, no good. Rebound collected by Colleen D. D bringing it the other way. Getting trapped in the corner, almost forced on the back court, but Matarazza retreated, and now a foul. And I'm not sure if Matarazza maybe heard someone calling for her to retreat back to her spot in the post, as she almost had Colleen D trapped into a backcourt violation there.
Well, and especially communication, that's why it's so important, especially in the offensive. If you're down by any margin, but certainly one with significant figure, then you really need to hammer that home.
Colleen D hits the first of 2 free throws. She's now got 4 points today. And she goes 2 for 2 at the line. 34-12. D with 5 points now. Brookline working against the press once again. Wood fakes and gets across half court and sets up the play in the half court. Pass over to Makaluski. Goes down low. Matarazza backing down. Shot. They call an offensive foul on Matarazza.
Interesting scope there, at least from the side officiator. And it's almost too tough of a call to really have confidence in. But, again, the ball swinging the other way for the Cougars.
And it'll be Ava Orlando bringing this one up. Stumbles and stumbles again and going to the floor and manages to get the ball away without losing it and without committing a travel. Now with the ball here, Reagan Costello. Costello trying to pass through back door, but it's lost out of bounds, and now it'll be Brookline ball.
And that's where sporadic play can really get you there after a bit of a confusing component of the sequence. But again, for Brookline, playing it back to basics really needs to be the emphasis here, as, again, only having up 12. Certainly plenty of time, though, to swing things back.
Makaluski gives to Kimbrough. Kimbrough running inside. Layup is good. Brookline finds the opening as Kimbrough now with 5 points tonight. Now a deep 3 attempt from Ava Orlando, no good, and it's taken away for a defensive rebound by Kimbrough. Kimbrough picking up speed, going inside, layup, no good. Slightly rushed by the defender, and she just couldn't finish. Ava Orlando passes up, a 3-ball attempted, no good. Rebound tipped and taken by Ava Orlando, goes inside, hits it, and one. Ava Orlando, the second player to reach double digits today. She's got 10 points with a chance for one more, as really the disparity in the rebounding game has played such a big factor. NDA able to get a lot of second and third chance opportunities. Brookline not so much when they're on offense.
Well, that speaks to the structure, really, of kind of working the boxing out and trying to create the play that's going to happen. Wayne Gretzky said it himself, is that the good players, the good systems go right for the puck, whereas the great systems and players go for where the puck will be next. And I think that's the part that NDA's got down packed.
Brookline on offense, looking around. Wheeler gets a pass away to Kimbrough. Kimbrough goes back to Wheeler on the wing. Wheeler drives, knifes through, layup won't go. That was a great Euro step to the hoop by Ivy Wheeler, but the rim hates Brookline tonight, as that's going to be a foul called on Kimbrough on the transition shot by Ava Orlando, and she'll go to the line for 2. And boy, Brian, I know we've talked about it a couple times, but how do you stop the frustration from mounting on a day where it almost seems like the hoop has a magnet pushing the ball away whenever you shoot it?
Well, I think that starts from the very top, and Kendall Jones has shown great control of emotion and great discipline, especially. And when you look to your leader, the skipper, to guide the ship in a lot of ways, if you can sense from him or whoever ends up coaching, if you see that there's composure there, it's easy. There's a trickle-down effect. It comes through, and Brookline been able to do a good job of that thus far.
Brookline breaks the press once again. Kimbrough looking around, dribbling around, lost control of the ball, and a jump ball is going to be forced by Emma Trout. Possession arrow to NDA as Kimbrough now checks out in favor of Nefeli Agakich. Now Catherine Chisholm to bring up the ball for the Cougars. Chisholm gives to El Orlando off a screen, decides to drive, runs along the baseline, pass out to Chisholm, resets from the wing, handoff to El Orlando. Orlando dribbling through, gets a switch, pass down low, and now resetting is Colleen D. D floats one to Ava Orlando, backdoor pass, and an easy layup for Trout as Notre Dame Academy now leads 41-14. Again, the press coming fast, and again, Brookline able to break it. Oh, but they lose it on an errant pass to the corner, out of bounds. Cougars ball. Inbound to Chisholm. Chisholm, pass, over to D. D swings it across to Trout. Trout gives it, running in Ava Orlando, throws up a desperate shot as she was fouled on the way to the hoop. Called on Matarazza, and they're going to give her the shooting foul there, so Orlando will go to the line for 2 more. She's got 13 points so far today, and now make it 14 as she has been strong from the free throw line.
Getting her more chances to at least slowly chip more and add to the point totals is going to be kind of the focus now, and kind of playing a bit of a smaller game. And when you have the lead that you do, at least, then you can kind of dial things back in terms of not urgency per se, but it's really putting things into the broader scope.
43-14 the score after Ava Orlando once again goes 2 for 2 at the line. Against the press, Brookline breaks it. Skylar Makaluski pass to Ivy Wheeler, who fakes, steps in, looking, kicks out, and Kyrie Simmons had her foot on the sideline. Out of bounds, NDA ball. It's tough. She had her right foot behind her as if she was setting up to step in or something like that. And that ended up being the wrong step there, as that ball is knocked out of bounds and will stay with NDA. Minute 11 left here in the third. Inbound to Costello. Costello looking around. Across the top, gives Ava Orlando. Across the baseline, pass out. From the top, running in is Chisholm. Throws baseline, fake, step in, layup is good from number 11, Lucy Dish. 45-14 as Agakich almost lost that ball but recovers it. Almost lost it again and manages to recover. Gets a pass away to Wheeler. Wheeler looking around and gets fouled. And so Brookline will be able to keep the ball with 33.8 seconds left in the third quarter. Substitution for Notre Dame Academy, number 32, Brinley Ross, into the game for the first time. Agakich gives to Wheeler. Wheeler out to Agakich. Agakich gives to Wheeler again. Tries for three again. Three's not falling for Brookline as Agakich lets that one bounce out of bounds and stay with the Warriors.
Yeah. Well, at least a little bit more of a transitional feel, at least for Brookline coming in, but hopefully, again, it's just the spacing is really what's going to get them more chances to get the ball off.
And that shot won't go from 3 for McDonald. Rebound by Costello. Throws it up to number 23, Ella Banning. Throws to the corner to Ross. Ross pass out, deflected, knocked loose by Wheeler. And the loose ball is how we're going to end the quarter. Our score at the end of 3, the Notre Dame Academy Cougars 45, the Brookline High Warriors 14. During this break between quarters, I remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental. Does anxiety keep you from seeking the dental care you need? You are not alone. Esch Dental gets it. They get you. Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner offers many options for management of dental anxiety. Go online to eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103 to book your consultation. Once again, that's eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103. All that information in the description section down below.
Well, certainly been a bit of a tougher sequence here again for Brookline, but to kind of, publicly say this too, I really do appreciate you having me on here throughout the broadcast, Jesse, and obviously we have a bit of a history as going back a couple of years now. For those at home who may not know, Jesse actually had come to a men's league season of mine where I play in the Ted Williams League, which is based out of Rockland, Massachusetts. The competition, the skill level, the knowledge really is truly felt through the entirety of the league, and correct me if I'm wrong, you might have felt it as well from at least calling a few of our games, but big shout out now to one of the pioneers really of the new face of the league, Green Machine Baseball. So again, my friends there, and Green Machine, we're going to have a good year. And Jesse, but again, thank you for all you do, at least for broadcasting, and again, allowing me to step on your show here.
It's my pleasure, Brian. Happy to have you on here as we get started with the first possession of the fourth quarter, and it's going to be a steal again by Ava Orlando. Manages to get the pass up to L. Orlando. Chucks it across to Emma Trout into the corner to Chisholm. Runs baseline, blocked from behind by Viviana McDonald. Loose ball recovered by Makaluski running the floor. Pass across, but a foul is called. A defensive push on the pass attempt by Makaluski. And so Brookline will simply set up for the inbound rather than trying to make the play happen in transition. Makaluski to inbound, looking for an option. Gets it up to Nefeli Agakic. Agakic at the top. Hands off to Kyrie Simmons. Throws inside to McDonald. And that pass intercepted by L. Orlando. Orlando bringing it up. Almost got trapped, but escapes. Runs baseline, lost the ball, out of bounds Brookline ball. Again, we've talked about it a couple times, Brian. The high-pressure defense forces teams to work fast, and at this level, that can force mistakes at a much higher clip.
Much higher, and then especially transitioning out to the collegiate level, it does carry both ways here, but indeed both teams have actually been doing a pretty decent job in forcing the ball to pop out when it's been called upon to.
A transition bucket, no good for NDA as Brookline now taking it the other way. Agakic throws to the corner to Simmons, back to the wing to Agakic. Agakic surveying her options. Throws to the corner, Simmons inside, McDonald. McDonald getting smushed, passes out to Agakic on the wing. Tries from the top for three, no good. Rebound collected by Trout. I don't think Brookline's hit a single three-pointer all night tonight, as that long two is good from Ava Orlando. Makes it 47-14, the first points of the fourth quarter, as Orlando now tied with Giannopoulos for the scoring lead with 17. Makaluski throws inside, swatted by Giannopoulos, recovered by Chisholm. Floats it up to Ava Orlando, gonna try for three, no good. Rebound by Wheeler. Wheeler throws it up to Agakic in transition. Agakic going inside, gets blocked. No foul, but out of bounds. It'll stay with the Warriors. Wood checks back in for Brookline. D back in for NDA, as well as Dish. 5:44 left to go in this one. Inbound to Wood in the corner. Wood, pass intercepted again by Orlando, throws it up. D looking around, tries an extra pass to Chisholm. Chisholm, they pass it out to Trout, now up top to Ava Orlando. Over to D and to the corner to Chisholm. Chisholm setting up from the top, gives over to Dish. Dish now over to Trout. Trout inside, deflected, and a jump ball forced before Colleen D could rip that one away. Possession arrow to the Cougars.
And with limited time here, Brookline just trying to hammer down again the fundamentals and, working towards just adding a few more points up. NDA obviously going to try to build upon their lead here. They average just under, heading into tonight at least, just under 25 points per game, at least in how much they win by. Certainly looking to add more to that.
That one just barely saved by McDonald's, but it goes right to Ava Orlando. Orlando, pass up to Dish. Dish to Trout from the outside, just looking. Now gives it to D. Now across to Chisholm into the corner. Trout back out to Chisholm and around to Ava Orlando. Orlando starting to drive, running floater, no good. Gets her own rebound, but it's blocked on the putback by McDonald. Loose ball recovered by Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch running the floor, gives to Wood. Wood tries for three, and finally a three-pointer falls for the Warriors. Izzy Wood now with a team-high 7 points tonight. And I think a timeout was just called. But boy, it took until the fourth quarter, but finally a shot from three falls for Brookline. And Brian, I know this is your first time covering this team. Let me assure you, the three-point shooting, usually better than this. This has been a very off night for Brookline shooting-wise.
Well, especially, though, if the defense has to kind of carry a lot more of the load, the offense gets a little bit left behind. In the sense, though, that with football, you have the ability where it's two separate teams, if you will. With the fact, though, that Brookline has just been pushed on the edge so often on the defense, perhaps that really does kind of shake things up a bit when you work back towards the offensive point, and they've been rushed. Plain and simple, they've been rushed. Usually if you have your three chances, there's a little bit less of a sense of urgency being pushed on you. So, and while I certainly do believe that the average of three-pointers made for the Warriors here is a lot higher than what we've seen tonight, you have to give credit where credit is due to NDA, really just establishing a certain principle of defense. But a lot still positive for Brookline. Again, as you mentioned before the show, 7 more wins up on the board for Brookline than the season before, and they've got a playoff spot.
Absolutely. Reagan Costello gives it over to Chisholm. Chisholm, pass across, does complete to Dish. Dish gets a pass away to Trout. Trout into the corner to Chisholm. Chisholm setting up at the top, pass inside, shot, no good, but a foul. And that'll send Colleen D to the line for 2. And boy, speaking on the difference with the offense and the defense, defensively, this hasn't been the worst, score allowed output for Brookline this season. They've averaged about 45 points allowed per game, as now they've allowed 48 so far today with a few minutes left on that free throw by Colleen D. But scoring-wise, Brookline has been averaging 42.8 points scored per game, and so this one just far and away the roughest shooting night they've ever had in this season, as D 1 for 2 at the line, but another offensive board for the Cougars. That 3-ball wouldn't go, and the loose ball barely recovered in bounds by Jada Kimbrough, who's back in the game. Kimbrough swings it over to Wood. Wood, pass to Aga Kitch, back to Wood, across to Kimbrough. Inside Makaluski, mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound tipped several which ways and stolen away by Nefeli Aga Kitch. Couldn't hit the layup and manages to draw the foul on the third chance attempt.
And even when the fouls do get called against NDA, there's really no second guessing or kind of even questioning. A lot of them just come to be, clean part of the game per se. Touching on you know, Brookline, they have, heading into tonight, put up 771 points in total, though, allowing about 826 or so. So with the point differential, at least it's still a lot closer, per se, than, you know, a lot of other teams out there in Division II towards the bottom and the middle.
Pass out to Agakic. Agakic running in and hits the layup. Nefeli Agakic with her first points of the night. As now bringing it up, Ella Banning. Pass over to the wing, stepping in is Chisholm. Chisholm pass out, dropped, but recovered by D. D went over half court. And important to note, Brookline heading to the playoffs in the Division I state tournament, while Notre Dame Academy will, of course, be competing in this Division II state tournament. So these will not be playoff foes in the future, no matter what happens. But an interesting matchup today, to say the least, although it's certainly been a rough one for Brookline in terms of their shooting percentages. Kimbrough with the ball at the top. Gives to Agakic. Over to Kimbrough. Throws inside. McDonald lost the ball off the double team, but it'll stay Brookline ball as the help defense from NDA has really been quite a wonder today for the Cougars, with how quick they've managed to sag in and create pressure on the ball handler. Quick corner three attempt is good from Izzy Wood. The first Brookline player to reach double figures tonight. She's got 10 points. Now with the ball, NDA passing it out to Chisholm. Chisholm hands off to Banning. Banning pass across to Costello. Costello off a screen, throws to the corner. Pass inside, juggled, lost, but chased down by Brinley Ross. Seconds left on the shot clock. Ross chucks it, gets it off the rim to prevent the shot clock violation, but the rebound is collected by Agakic. Agakic gives to Wood. Wood back to Agakic. Throws over to Makaluski. Back to Agakic. Agakic throws to Wood into the corner. Kimbrough for three, and now the 3 points starting to fall for Brookline as they've now got 25. Jada Kimbrough with 8 points tonight. As Banning hands off. Costello running in, kicks out. Ross with the ball. Gives to the corner to D. D looking around, and it's stripped. Jada Kimbrough picks her pocket and goes for the fast break layup. 2 Brookline players with double digits now here in the fourth quarter as Kimbrough reaches 10. Now Costello floats it into the corner. Pass out, a jumper from Costello, no good. Rebound, Kimbrough. Kimbrough lost the ball but goes to the ground for it. And a jump ball is going to be called. Possession arrow to Brookline. So, you know, we mentioned it earlier, Brookline able to get the score up a little higher, you know, get some, you know, finish the game with some dignity, sort of, as they get, you know, some shots to fall here in the closing seconds. Wood driving through, lost the ball, trying to recover it, trying to fight. And they're going to call a foul on NDA there. And so it'll stay Brookline ball. Inbound for Agakic, goes in, and McDonald couldn't pass it out. It's stolen away. Taken by Banning. Banning across the top, hands off Costello. Costello looking around. Hands off Banning. Gets jumped by Nefeli Agakic, chasing down the loose ball. Agakic does recover, tries the reverse, almost got that one to go, and now knocks it loose again, but this time not cleanly as she's called for a foul with just 0.8 seconds left. So we'll have one last inbound, and that will end our ball game. And there we go. The final score here at Notre Dame Academy. The Notre Dame Academy Cougars 48, the Brookline High Warriors 27. Cougars improved to 18-1 on the season. Brookline falls to 8-11. And like we've been saying, Brian, hats off to NDA for playing such a fast, aggressive game up and down the floor. And for Brookline, just got to have the memory of a goldfish, as Ted Lasso might say, in regards to the shooting night they've had tonight. But certainly, it's, a unique experience for both teams.
Well, and a lot of it, too, again, heading into the playoffs, it's a whole new slate here. And, again, the competition levels is the Catholic League, certainly a league of their own to some regard, but with a lot of things to go towards, at least with Brookline, you do see a lot of the potential coming in. And while NDA may appear that they should even be playing at the collegiate level, never mind anything in the Catholic League, Brookline, when things were slowed down and paced out enough, you did see things moving a lot more symmetrically and in transition. For NDA, a lot of it, when they were pressed and hard pressed, where they were given what they dish out, they did fold a little bit, at least in terms of trying to get that ball to move quickly. But, again, a lot more of the shots just getting a chance to fall there for the Cougars. But, again, overall, relatively clean game aside from maybe the second quarter.
All right, Brian Foley, thank you so much again for joining me here tonight. It's been such a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. And thank you all to everyone tuning in. We got a couple more last notes in the live chat. First from Elliot Schickler of Patch.com. The Brookline boys basketball team lost 53-50 to Georgetown today. Georgetown killed Brookline by shooting three-pointers and a few long rebounds off the offensive glass. Brookline played too much iso ball and had 20 turnovers. Thank you for the update there, Elliot. And then one last note from Gene Makaluski Rivero saying hello from Miami, go Brookline. Thank you so much for tuning in today, Gene. Sorry the result might not have been what you wanted coming in, but you know what? You play the game and you move on to the next one. Brookline will be back here again tomorrow, as will the Cougars, for the second round of the tournament, as there was an earlier game played in this tournament between Scituate and I want to say East Bridgewater. So the winners of those two games, the winner of the first game will face NDA in the finals. Brookline will face the loser in the consolation game. Unfortunately, I won't be here for that one, as I've been booked for Brookline High girls hockey over at Warrior Ice Arena, as they will host the King Philip Warriors tomorrow at 5. So if folks want to tune in for that, you can. But unfortunately, I won't be following the basketball team again tomorrow for their regular season finale. But playoffs just around the corner, so get excited for that, fans. Final individual point totals for tonight for Brookline: 10 points each from Izzy Wood and Jada Kimbrough. 2 points each from Skylar Makaluski, Nefeli Agakich, and Viviana McDonald, and 1 point from Olivia Matarazza. For Notre Dame Academy, Effie Giannopoulos and Ava Orlando with 17 points each, Colleen D with 6, Elle Orlando with 4, and then 2 each from Lucy Dish and Emma Trout. And before we wrap this up, one last thank you to our sponsor, Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent, Dr. Brandon Esch, for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. And you can find that information in the description section down below, where you can also find the link to the official Venmo account of the Triple Threat Booster Club, the official booster club of BHS Girls Basketball. You can find the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And you can also find some information related to me, which you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide for various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can always email me directly. You can see my email there. You can email me with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And further down, you can see you can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Notre Dame Academy 48, Brookline 27. From Notre Dame Academy in Hingham, Massachusetts, alongside Brian Foley, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.